Welcome back to Bluefield for Game 2 of this doubleheader between the Bluefield College Rams and the St. Andrews Knights here on the Rams Digital Sports Network. Hello, everybody. I'm Bailey Engel. Glad to have you with us here on the Rams Digital Sports Network. Rams looked very good in Game 1. The lefty freshman from Raleigh, North Carolina, Jackson Keene, pitched the second complete game for Bluefield this year. The other one pitched by this young man on the mound, Alex Perkins, and both of them are first-year players for Mike White and these Bluefield College Rams. So now Bluefield improves to 12-8 and finds their third win in the AAC, facing off against St. Andrews again, who are now 15-14 and 3-7 in the AAC, who have a lineup that looks like this. Ryan Dickens bats first and plays in center field. Noah Whalen batting second and playing in left, while Nolan Pierce, will bat third and play at third base. Batting fourth, Malik Johnson. He had a base hit in the last game. He'll be the DH, while batting fifth into the game this time, Bryce Dixon. Seth Spillman will be the catcher and bat sixth for SAU, while batting seventh, once again, the first baseman, Chris Stubbs. Batting eighth, the shortstop, Luis Barrios, and then batting ninth, Noah Lawson. On the mound for St. Andrews coming up will be Trevor Maley, the right-handed pitcher, also coming from Illinois. And just like in the last game, Zach Mathis, also coming from Illinois, the right-handed pitcher. So the first pitch coming up from Alex Perkins as the fastball is dealt inside, and we are underway in Game 2. Ball one, and Dickens in that last one did not find a base hit. He was 0 for 4. Righty-to-righty matchup. Perkins in his last game did very well against Milligan College as Dickens lines it down the left field line. There's a base hit. Center fielder charging on his way to second, trying to relay it there. Tag, not in time. Good throw from Josh McGee. Perez almost laid down the tag. And if you're Ryan Dickens, you might try to slide in. And now Dickens going to talk this one over with the first base coach and ask why he did not slide in there. But he has a double to lead off the game. It's like we said, Perkins completed a game last week in a 7-3 win against Milligan College. It wasn't a shutout like Jackson Keene's, but for Perkins, still a good year. He has a 2.79 ERA, 1-2 on the season. 19 1/3 innings pitched, 19 hits, 14 runs, 6 of them earned, 7 walks, and 18 strikeouts. That will bring up Noah Whalen, runner at second. Espinal even with the bag at third. Whalen, the right-handed batter, jumps out of the way. Going with the gray jerseys again in Game 2, St. Andrews, with those jerseys almost identical to what we've seen out of the Toronto Blue Jays in the early 1990s, as well as the late 1980s. Those blue numbers on the back with the white in the middle. The 1-0. Whalen watches it, crosses knees for strike one. Count 1-1. Whalen was one of the 3 batters to get on base with a hit for St. Andrews in Game 1. He went 1 for 4. 1-1. Swing and a miss. Big cut. Whalen has a very spread out stance, almost unbalanced. Like he's stretching out on the right side of the dish. Rams going with the cream-colored jerseys that say Rams across the front in blue. Have that number right under the S on the left part of the jerseys. The 1-2. Whalen watches it go right down the middle. Strike 3 called, and Perkins able to get his first strikeout of the game. So 1 out, runner at second. Top of the first, and we're playing 7 here in Game 2. New update to the AAC this year, where last year they were the only conference in the NAIA that played 7-inning doubleheaders. Now they're playing 9 and 7 doubleheaders. From the belt, looking at second, the pitch. Right down the middle. Nolan Pierce watched it go across his knee, strike 1. Count 0-1. Perkins in that last game against Milligan, that really shocked Mike White, but in a good way. Young man coming from Christiansburg High School in Christiansburg, Virginia, playing with his teammate Nick Meadows, who's out of the lineup. 0-1. Fouled off after a healthy cut by Pierce. Goes right back to the backstop for strike 2. Runner at second, 1 out. No score still. Count no balls, 2 strikes. Wind flowing in. Perkins taking a long look at his battery mate, Austin Browning. Runner at second, the pitch. Outside, ball one. So in the field for Bluefield, few changes than what we saw in game one. Marcus Espinal at third. Bailey Castro at short. Perez at second. And then Oscar Torres at first base. Out in left field, Josh McGee. Then in center, Jordan Ackerman. Jordan Jackson getting the start in right field as the 1-2 hits the outside corner. Another strikeout for Alex Perkins. And a backwards K snatches into the books. 2 outs. Runner at second is Dickens. Then completing the battery with Alex Perkins, Austin Browning, who got the start at first base in the last game. So Nick Meadows now on the bench as the DH in this one will be Jesus Roldan. Up to the plate goes Malik Johnson. Game started out with a double from Ryan Dickens. Perkins from the belt. Checks on the runner. Pitch. Johnson strides into it, but watches the fastball zoom right down the middle. Strike one. Rams came into that last series against Milligan on a 6-game losing streak. Then they won 2 against the Buffaloes. And a big part of the reason why, the pitchers are hitting their zones, hitting their spots, making it tougher for these batters to answer the 0-1. Another fastball across the knees of Johnson. Make that 0-2. So Johnson quickly down. DH in this one from Red Springs, North Carolina. Listed as an outfielder on this roster for St. Andrews. Nods in. Runner at second. The 0-2. Fastball high and outside. Dropped by Browning. Dickens able to trot over on the pass ball. And that'll be an easy way to get a runner on the corner. Andy Fox, the head coach for St. Andrews. This team coming from Laurinburg, North Carolina, just about an hour from Myrtle Beach. So they rolled in here right around 12:45 on the trip up, and then maybe snow tomorrow. Wood duck flies overhead in beautiful Bluefield, Virginia. Checking on the runner at third. Perkins deals. 1-2 is high, a fastball again. Makes it 2-2. Happy to have you here on the Rams Digital Sports Network. Once again, I'm the voice of the Rams, Bailey Engel. Now the freshman has to worry about a runner at third. The 2-2. Right down the middle, he watched it. So after the double from Ryan Dickens, Alex Perkins strikes out the side, all looking. So no runs on one hit, no errors, and a runner left at third base. 0-0, and Bluefield will face off against Trevor Bailey when we come back for the bottom of the first. Going to the bottom of the first on the Rams Digital Sports Network. Bluefield all tied up 0-0 with St. Andrews. Right-handed sidewinder Trevor Maley to get the start on the mound today. The senior pitcher from Illinois. So far on the year for Maley, 3.68 ERA, a good record of 3-1. 36 2/3 innings pitched as Bailey Castro heads to the plate. First pitch to the shortstop shows bunt. Pulls back as the ball just slides in a little outside and low on Spillman, the catcher. Castro in that last game had one of those crucial RBIs. He scored 2 runs, or scored 1 run in that one. The 1-0. That swung on, batted into the ground. Over at short, Barrios, quick throw to first. In time. What a play by Luis Barrios. That was a hard bounce, and Bailey Castro, being that speedy runner that he is, definitely had a chance to leg out that infield single, but Luis Barrios whipped to first in time. Around the horn in the field, Pierce over at third, Barrios at short. Lawson gets the start at second base while Stubbs is at first. Out in the outfield, Whalen in left, Dickens in center, and Dixon in right field. It's the first pitch to Jose Perez, goes outside, ball 1. Well, Perez went 0 for 4. A rare feat for the second baseman who leads the team with an average nearly at 500. 1-0. Swung on, hit right up the middle, a base hit for Jose Perez. There's his first base hit of the day. Trying to dive that time was Maley, who just fell back on his behind on the mound. And Perez is on. So no score, Rams tied up 0-0. That'll bring Josh McGee to the plate. McGee with an RBI. In game 1, a 3-0 win for Bluefield. Had a single that drove in Bailey Castro in the first inning, and that was his only hit. Runner at first, righty to righty, McGee with 9 homers on the year and 33 RBIs. First pitch. Well, he watches it go low and away. Got to talk with Mike White a few days ago about the success of Joshua McGee, and he talked about how he didn't expect it to be this influential, but he can destroy the ball at Bowen Field. Pickoff attempt to first, tag. Not in time, but it's a balk. So they will call a balk, and it looked like a really unorthodox way to pick off Perez at first. So on the balk, Perez moves to second base. So he started the motion and then tried to whip it in over at first. Perez moves to second. So the count's still at 1-0. Perez with a big lead at second. Kick and the pitch. Outside, gets past the catcher. Perez advances. So Spillman tried to slide over to get it, couldn't keep it in front, and just like that, with the balk and then the wild pitch, Jose Perez moves to third. Now Josh McGee, all he needs is a well-hit fly ball, and that will score Jose Perez. You got to think with Perez, he's going on a ground ball as well. 2-0. Swing and a miss. Good pitch. First strike of the at-bat by Maley. Well, the sun beaming down from the first base side now. Might not really help out the glare coming from our plexiglass in here, but I'm very excited about that glass because Jordan Ackerman sent a ball that would have pinballed around in our press box. 2-1. Lackadaisical swing and a miss from Josh McGee. Just let the hands go through on a slider outside from the righty. Evens the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Perez at third. Got on with a single. 2-2 to McGee. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. That looked like the same pitch as the last one. And McGee goes down on strikes for the first strikeout of the game by Trevor Maley. That sends Austin Browning, now the catcher, to the plate to try to drill in Jose Perez. Still no score. Runner at third and now 2 outs. Bluefield now have won 3 of their last 5 games. The pitch. Check swing outside and did not go around. So it's 1 ball and no strikes. I actually should say 3 of their last 4. 3 of their last 5 would also be correct as they were swept by Bryant. 1-0. Outside, missing the zone again. Browning didn't have a very good game at the plate in that last game against St. Andrews. Really neither did a lot of people in the lineup for Bluefield. He went 0 for 4. Runner at third and a 2-0 pitch. Swung on, tapped foul right near the dugout for the Knights. First strikeout or first strike to Austin Browning. New clouds starting to flow from right to left. Wind constantly flowing to left field. 2-1. Fouled straight back. Evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Happy to have you on the Rams Digital Sports Network. Count evens at 2-2. And the Rams get their first run here in the first inning for the second straight game. Maley comes set. Perez with a big lead. Kick, 2-2. Outside, got him. Strike 3. Second strikeout of the inning, and Browning goes down looking. No runs on 1 hit and no errors, and a runner left at third base. Still scoreless as we head to the second on the Rams Digital Sports Network. So if the first inning is any teller, we might have another pitching duel here in Game 2 of the doubleheader. 0-0 the score. Alex Perkins on the mound facing off against Bryce Dixon. The right fielder makes his first cuts today. First pitch. And the righty swings and pops it up shallow right field. Jose Perez, the second baseman, catches it with his toes in the outfield grass for out number 1. It's easy enough, and that's the 4th straight batter retired by Perkins. That'll bring up Seth Spillman, also coming up to the plate for the first time today. Spillman making his 15th start on the year. .273 average, no homers, and 7 RBIs. Batting right-handed, Perkins, kick and the pitch. Fastball right down the middle, strike 1. Perkins looking out of that blue cap. It's a pretty normal delivery. Quick kick. Overheads the pitch, the 0-1. Swing and a miss. Big cut. Strike 2 on a fastball that was high. Not like what we saw about Jackson Keene, who lowers the slot of his left arm. Perkins working fast. The 0-2. A little high over the head of Seth Spillman. Spillman, the junior catcher from Charlotte, North Carolina, from Lewisburg College. Steps into the 1-2. Outside corner. That's the 4th strikeout looking already for Alex Perkins. And St. Andrews is not doing a great job of defending the plate with 2 strikes. That'll bring up Chris Stubbs. And Chris Stubbs, a big part of that 3rd run of the game for Bluefield back in the first game. Now the first pitch to the first baseman. It's a fastball right across the knee, strike 1, watched. It was a batted ball into the ground by Bailey Castro. Luis Barrios caught it on a hop and threw to first as the 0-1 comes in. Swung on, hit high in the air, out to left field, going back, and that is gone. First home run of the year for Chris Stubbs, and St. Andrews scores their first run of the game, or the day. And Stubbs making up for that mental error he had in the first game, at least for right now, as he drills a huge homer, and it's 1-0 St. Andrews. There's a no-doubter there. So with 2 outs, Luis Barrios steps up to the plate. Alex Perkins certainly not in trouble yet. Bluefield needs to find him some sort of run support. First pitch to the shortstop, watched outside. That's ball 1. On the righty, Barrios went 0 for 3 in the last game with 3 groundouts. 2 to the third baseman and 1 to second. Kick in the 1-0. Swung on, hard batted ball down in the dirt and rolling foul on the third base side. So for Stubbs, probably got that silent treatment as he went into the dugout. You heard everybody go, hey, just a second ago, 1-1. Outside, makes it 2-1. Well, Stubbs just a sophomore. See what Barrios can do here, the freshman from Richmond, Virginia. Pitch, swinging a foul ball, right back to the backstop. Count evens at 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. St. Andrews leading 1-0. Scoring their first run of the day after being shut out 3-0 in game 1. Perkins looks into his glove, starts the motion, pitches. Fastball just a bit high. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Well, the umpire in this game has a delayed strike 3 call. Full count. Pitch. Low and away, ball 4. So for only the second time today, St. Andrews is able to get both or consecutive runners on. Noah Lawson up to the plate for another swing of the bat. Lawson went 0 for 3 in the last game, reached on an error and struck out. 2 outs, though, a runner at first. Perkins looks over his shoulder and deals. Pitch is cut on and fouled off right over the backstop, out of play. Makes the count 0-1. And if you looked at these teams on paper, you see that they're probably even. I mean, technically exactly even in the AAC records, both of them at 3-7 and barely over 500. Perkins with a long look, 0-1. Line drive into right field, going to the left. Jackson, he slid to make the catch. So that could have possibly saved an extra base hit, but Jordan Jackson getting the rare start in right field, able to glove it to retire the side. But a run scores on the first home run of the year by Chris Stubbs, and it's 1-0 Knights as we head to the bottom of the second. So after the home run from Chris Stubbs, St. Andrews leads 1-0, and Bluefield, for the first time today, is trailing after shutting out the Knights in the first game 3-0. 5-6-7 due up, and on the mound, Maley will deal to the first baseman, Oscar Torres, who lines it up the middle and drops it in for a base hit into center field. Oscar Torres with his first base hit of the game, and he just choked up on the bat and hit off the inside part, and it just flared out to center field. Second base hit of the day for Bluefield. They left a runner on third back in the first inning. Bring up Jordan Jackson, the right fielder, who made that diving grab to rob Noah Lawson of a base hit back in The top of the second. Runner goes, bunt laid down the first baseline, fielded by Stubbs, lays a tag down on Jackson, who tried to run out of the baseline, and the sacrifice is intact as Torres moves to second. A lot happening on the first two pitches of the inning. And now Torres is in scoring position. That'll bring up Jordan Ackerman. Ackerman trying to find a base hit. He could not do so in the last game. He was walked and was able to score a run. He's 0 for 2. Runner at second. Pitch to Ackerman. Swung on, a line drive on the ground over to second base, fielded by Lawson, who pops to first in time. 2 outs. Meanwhile, Torres over at third. Just 3 pitches for Maley in the bottom of the second. We have 2 outs. Now for the first time in this game, Jesus Roldan, the DH. Coming from New York, steps up on the right side of the plate. Usually a pitcher, but Mike White putting the bat in his DH's hands in this one. The pitch rolled on with a big cut and a miss. There's strike 1. That's just the 4th pitch of the inning. Rolled on, hitting .500 with only 2 at-bats. He has a hit. Runner at third, the 0-1. Check swing, pitch right down the middle. It's strike 2. So Torres reached on a single on the first pitch of the bottom of the second. And a sacrifice bunt by Jordan Jackson moved him to second, and then Ackerman grounded out to second. Runner at third for Roldan. The 0-2. Outside, a fastball missing. Spillman on one knee, gloved it. Makes the count at 1-2. Here at Bowen Field, a beautiful yet chilly day for baseball in the two Virginias with clouds rolling over the mountainous backdrop. Trees not in bloom yet. Still seemingly wintertime. The 1-2. Rolled on, watches it go outside. And he's now in an even count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Mike White in his 11th season as the head coach of Bluefield College and also the athletic director of the entire school. Over at third, 2-2. Hold on, watches it go outside. Ball 3 again. The fastball missing for Maley. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Oscar Torres at third. Represents the tying run. It's 1-0 St. Andrews. Maley works so fast, even from the stretch. He comes set. End of the knees, the pitch. Swing and a miss. Got him. On the payoff, and Bluefield leaves a runner at third base. What a quick bottom of the second. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and Torres left stranded on the corner. Head to the 3rd inning. St. Andrews leads 1-0. Into the 3rd inning we go. Rams down 1-0. Perkins and Maley dueling it out on the mound. 1 run has been represented in this game. Chris Stubbs with his first home run of the year. Now to the top of the lineup, here's Ryan Dickens. First pitch to the center fielder. Clock's right down the middle, and it's strike 1. Playing in a 7-inning game, we're already in the top of the 3rd. It'll be Dickens, Whalen, and Pierce all due up. Perkins steps into the pitch. Swing and a miss on that breaking ball. Dickens was well out in front, and he's quickly down 0-2. Already 4 strikeouts for Perkins. All 4 of them have been looking. So St. Andrews still looking for the run support of the 0-2. Swing and a miss. There's your first swinging strikeout of the game. And now that's the 5th one. So Perkins still dealing. Both of the freshmen showing up for Bluefield today. Jackson Keene, if you're just now joining us, pitched a complete game 9-inning shutout that the Rams won 3-0. Now dueling with Noah Whalen. First pitch, and the left fielder watches it drop outside. Makes the count 1-0. Keene only threw 4 changeups in that entire game. All the rest were fastballs. 1-0. Swung on, hit on the ground, over to Perez, gobbles it up, throws to first, 2 outs. Still 1-0. St. Andrews has only scored 1 run today, and that was from Chris Stubbs with 2 outs. That was a huge hit. Have to see if Bluefield can duel it out with this right-handed pitcher from Illinois. Still a lot of game left to be played, but like we said, we're in a 7-inning contest here. Pierce went down looking back in the first inning. First pitch. And Nolan Pierce watches it cross his knees for strike 1. Good fastball for Alex Perkins, the right-handed pitcher, just a freshman. Steps back, 0-1. Check swing on a pitch in the dirt. Did he go? Yes, as a fist is held up by the first base umpire. No balls, 2 strikes. 2 outs, nobody on. Stepping back into the right batter's box, Nolan Pierce. Comes set, 0-2. In the dirt, kept in front by Browning. Oh boy, the pace of this game with these 2 starting pitchers has been nearly at the speed of light seemingly so far. Now it's early, their pitch is working. Batters have yet to figure them out. Now the 1-2, high and inside. With Austin Browning, seemingly at least in this game, he pops up and he just zips it right back to the pitcher. Keeps the pace of the game going. And Perkins rocks the 2-2. Swing and a pop-up into shallow center. Racing back Castro, diving, and the ball drops in for a base hit. Castro and Ackerman almost collided there. And kind of like what we saw in the last game where a base hit dropped in between Ackerman and Perez. Didn't want to hit each other, and both of them let the ball drop right through. There's a base hit for Nolan Pierce with 2 outs. And Malik Johnson will step up to the plate trying to avenge his strikeout looking in the first inning. Runner at first, 1-0 St. Andrews. Sun beaming down from the first base side. Pitch. Popped up, right side, foul territory. Browning chasing, and that ball will just hit on top of the dugout for strike 1. All but 1 base hit for St. Andrews today has been hit with 2 outs. And that was the leadoff double that started off this game by Ryan Dickens. Counted 0-1, a runner at first. And the home run from Chris Stubbs was done almost shockingly on a well-hit ball to left. Perkins checking, pitch. Swinging a foul tip, tapped right behind Browning. Quickly at 0-2. Andy Fox giving signs to his base runners as well as his hitter at the plate. Pierce at first. Malik Johnson on the right side of the dish. No balls, 2 strikes. Comes set. Checks the runner. Pitch. Swinging a foul tipped right behind Browning. Almost gloved it. Count remains no balls, 2 strikes. Rams looking to clinch this series, but have to get it done offensively. They trailed for the first time today, 1-0. Just in the top of the 3rd. And a 7-inning game. Stepping to the rubber. Perkins being a tad bit more deliberate with the runner at first. Comes set. Deals. Swinging another foul tip from Johnson. So the DH from Red Springs, North Carolina, and a transfer from Southeastern Community College, still keeping this alive. We haven't really seen that as much in this game from the Knights, or in this day, I should say. Don't really make the pitchers throw extra pitches. 0-2. Swing and a miss at a pitch in the dirt. Browning picks it up, throws to first in time, and the side is retired. Another strikeout for Alex Perkins. Make that number 6 on the day, and a runner is left at first base. We head to the bottom of the third. Bluefield trails 1-0. Rams trail by 1 run. It's 1-0. Headed to the bottom of the third, and the 9-1-2 are up against Trevor Maley. First pitch to Marcus Espinal. And the third baseman watches it hit the outside corner for strike 1. Maley's done well in this game. He has 3 strikeouts. And that bottom of the second lasted about 4 minutes, where the Rams left a runner stranded at third. Works the pitch overhead, and it goes a little high. An old school windup for Trevor Maley. Brings the ball in the glove behind his blue cap and then fires it. 1-1. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. And when he comes through, it's almost like watching someone throw a football where they slap the football first and then throw it. That's what he does with the baseball. As that one is served into center field and goes through Dickens. Left it go right through his glove. Espinal on his way to third, trying to get there. Relay to third, off target, and Espinal is on. What was that? We'll call it a single and a 2-base error for Espinal. Ryan Dickens tried to scoop it up, and he went all the way over to third base. Dastardly mistake for Ryan Dickens, and Bluefield has the tying run at third with no outs. So an E8. Bailey Castro with a chance to tie it up. 0 for 1 with a ground out. First pitch. And the shortstop watches it drop outside. And Dickens definitely had a charge on it. It was close. And the ball just took a weird hop. 1-0. Check swing outside. And actually hit the corner. Evens the count at 1-1. And Mike White is talking with the umpire. The wind is really whipping in now. Coming from right field into the dugout. The plexiglass in front of us is starting to flare in. And I'm sure you can hear it there. 1-1. Maley comes set. Pitch. Castro slices it foul on the right side. Makes the count 1-2. These are not prime baseball conditions. You see some people that we know that we work with here at Bluefield College go down to Dunedin to see the Toronto Blue Jays spring training facilities, and it is a lot warmer. 1-2. Castro watches the ball go outside, slips through Spillman. Here comes Espinal, and he scores on the pass ball. Tied up at 1-1. Those fielding mistakes coming back to bite SAU, and the Rams have tied it up 1-1. Meanwhile, it's a 2-2 count to Castro. Ball overhead. The pitch. Another foul ball right behind the backstop, out of play. The count remains at 2-2 strikes. So it wasn't a great pitch from Maley, but Spillman slid over and it went right through his legs. It's a deep backstop, so Espinal didn't have to slide. 2-2. Swung on another foul ball, bouncing towards the backstop. Jose Perez tried to tennis swat it right back towards the green wall. All tied up now at 1-1. Maley looking out of his glove. Nobody on. Starts the motion. Rocks, pitches. Foul ball again, and he is just a tad bit late. Castro sliced that one out towards the first baseline. 2-2 count. A lot of wind flowing in. Field in the shade. Pitch. Outside, ball 3, full count. So Espinal reaches on a single, then the ball rolled through Dickens. Got to third base on the two-base error, and then on the wild pitch, able to score. Payoff. Another pop-up foul. It'll curve out towards the forest. Count remains full. Three balls and 2 strikes. Castro awaits the deal from Maley. And Castro calls time. Three balls, 2 strikes. Payoff. Line drive into left field, but it's straight at Whalen, who makes the catch for out number 1. Decent at bat for Castro as he forces some extra pitches, but he falls to 0 for 2 on the day. That'll bring up Jose Perez. Perez singled straight up the middle his last time. That sent Maley right back on his behind. Trying to field it. He's 1 for 1, and he was left at third. 1-1 the score. First pitch, and Perez watches it scrape in the dirt for ball 1. Back here tomorrow, weather permitting, at 1 o'clock. Now the rock and the 1-0. Line drive, but foul. Right back towards the backstop, and the count evens at 1-1. Just 1 out after Castro flew out. It's 1-1. One offer. Perez watches it go outside. It's dropped by Spillman. Supposed to get a lot of snow here in southwest Virginia and southern West Virginia. This is just days after snow really rocked us here in Princeton and Bluefield. Kick in the 2-1. Outside and dropped by Spillman again. Snow is starting to melt on the mountainous backdrop here at Bowen Field. It was a tad bit more covered when we got here today. Pulled into the park around 12:30. Now we're at 5:14. 3-1. Line drive through the first baseman, and now Perez is on at first base with his second single of the game. Stubbs tried to get on one knee and snag it out, but it's a bad hop, and it'll be a hit for Perez. So that'll bring Josh McGee, the left fielder, 4th hit of the ball game for Bluefield. Extra base hits have been hard to come by for either team. The most notable one was the homer from Chris Stubbs that put St. Andrews on the board in the top of the second, but Bluefield able to tie it up here in the bottom of the third with 1 out. McGee went down swinging, looking pretty bad on a few breaking pitches outside dealt in by Maley. See if he can recalibrate it here. He's 0 for 1. Pitch. Check swing outside. No appeal, and actually they did appeal it. He said he didn't go. Runner at first. Actually, he did go around. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. Strike two. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Runner at first to Jose Perez. All tied up at 1-1. Maley with a pickoff. Tag, not in time. That's a dangerous move by Maley. He was just whipping it over to first base. He was right on target. That was close. Now no balls, 2 strikes. Perez with a slight lead at first. Playing for the double play. Another pickoff. Not in time. St. Andrews thought that was it. I got to remember, Maley, on an attempt to pick off Perez, did balk earlier in the game. Perez ended up stranded at third. Another pickoff. This time it's not close. No tag even attempted to be laid down by Stubbs. No balls, 2 strikes. And Perez coming into this series does have 6 stolen bases. That pitch swung on and missed. Throw to second. Dropped by the shortstop and rolling. Barrios almost had him. Or rather, that was Lawson covering. So it'll be a strikeout of Josh McGee. He goes into the dugout. And with the base occupied, Perez goes to second. Austin Browning steps to the plate. He's 0 for 1. Went down looking to end the first inning. Has a chance to give Bluefield the lead, though. They have a runner in scoring position at second base. Kick and the deal. Fastball dropping low and away on the righty. Ball and no strikes. Two outs. Maley, like Mathis before him, a pretty big frame. 1-0. Swing and a miss. Browning just swerved through it. Count is 1-1. Maley had 6'2", 185. Mathis in the last game was 6'3" and 215. Ball and a strike. Perez with a big lead at second. Pitch. Swing and a miss. Chasing it outside. Break and pitch again. 1 ball and 2 strikes with 2 outs. Bluefield tying it up in this inning. The 1-2. Check swing and a pitch in the dirt. Did he go? No. Maley was ready to walk in. Could not do it, though. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Browning in a battle here. Wind still flowing towards the left field foul pole. Can the Rams take the lead? 2 balls, 2 strikes. Even count. Pitch. Browning watches it go outside, and once again, Maley was about ready to trot it towards the dugout. So it's still tied up. Wind flowing through the jerseys of everybody involved at the diamond. Full count as that was ball 3. Payoff. Outside, ball 4, and Browning trots to first triumphantly. A good plate appearance for Austin Browning that will send Oscar Torres back to the plate. And a courtesy runner, and Caleb Wood will run for Browning. So Torres on his last plate appearance got all the way to third. Now he comes to the plate. Singled back his first time. Fastball goes outside on the first pitch, and it's ball 1. Happy to have you here. 1-1 the score. Espinal reached on a single, then moved all the way over to third. Then after that, came in on a pass ball. 1-0. Swing and a miss from Torres. Evens the count at 1-1. Count evens. 2 outs. Checking the runner. Pitch. Fastball. Outside corner, strike 2. Ball and 2 strikes with 2 outs. Torres trying to defend here. Perez at second. He reached on a single. And Browning at first after being walked. Around, and that's Caleb Wood, the courtesy runner. 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strikeout for Maley and gets through that slight jam there. So Bluefield making him throw extra pitches, but still the fifth strikeout of the day for the pitcher from Illinois. Rams still tied up 1-1 though as we head to the 4th here at Bowen Field. Leading off in the 4th inning, it will be Bryce Dixon in a tied game, 1-1. Rams were able to get that tying run after Espinal tried it in on a pass ball. First pitch to Bryce Dixon. Bats it into the ground over at short, bobbled by Castro, and Dixon able to get to first as Castro let it bounce off of his chest and couldn't field it, and it will start out with an E6 here in the 4th inning. Just playing 7 here, Alex Perkins still on the mound, and he is dealing well despite giving up a home run to Chris Stubbs. Has 5 or 6 strikeouts, rather. Just a freshman from Christiansburg, Virginia. Here's the catcher, Seth Spillman. He went down looking his last time. Joe's bunt. Lets it foul off. And it is... I almost hit him in the face. Strike 1. He couldn't get down from it. Got an 0-1, and for the head coach, Andy Fox, just making sure his catcher's all right. So the pitch was thrown so far inside. Just went right off of him. Count 0-1. Runner at first and Bryce Dixon. First error of the game for Bluefield. Espinal playing up in the grass at third, ready for the bunt. Lays it down right up the middle. Perkins fields, lobs to first, and Perez is there to cover. Sacrifice intact. Dixon moves to second. Good bunt by Spillman, but Bluefield able to field it perfectly. Perez knew what to do. Now to second base, possibly the go-ahead run. Chris Stubbs, 1 for 1 with a homer. His first one of the year and just the 10th of the season for St. Andrews. Perkins from the belt, now time called. On the flip side for Bluefield, they have 24. So Josh McGee coming into today had just as many home runs by himself that the Knights have this season. Fastball goes outside, it's ball 1. Andy Fox clapping at third base. Knights going with the stirrups, the black and white ones to go with their royal blue and gray jerseys. Count 1-0, runner at second and Dixon. Shade coming. Is that pitch? Curveball that drops outside. 2 balls, no strikes. So Perkins trying to learn how to pitch to the big power hitter in this latter end of the lineup to Chris Stubbs. 2 balls, no strikes. Perkins wearing number 15. Checks the runner. Pitch. Swinging a foul tip going right back to the backstop, hitting that wall hard, and now there's the first strike of the at-bat to Stubbs. St. Andrews working up these counts a little bit more in Game 2 than they did in Game 1. 2-1. Drops in on the inside corner. Strike 2. Evens the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Even count and a runner at second. Inning started off with an error from Castro. Rams trying to bounce back from it. Kick in the 2-2. Swung on, batted foul. Down on the ground as it rolls around towards the dugout for St. Andrews. About a 5-hour trip for the team, just about an hour from Myrtle Beach. Mike White and the Rams trying to capitalize on a team that's not really ready to play in the cold. This conference just reaches so far and wide. 2-2 in the dirt. Dixon flirted with going to third, but it'll go back to second. That's ball 3. Just 1 out after the sacrifice bunt from Seth Spillman. 1-1 the score. Looking into Browning, gets the sign. Perkins comes set. Lances at the runner, whips in. Outside corner, strike 3. Strikeout number 7, Alex Perkins with a stare down at Chris Stubbs. So another backwards K in the books. Make that the 5th strikeout looking. So there have only been 2 swinging strikeouts in this game. That's the second out of the 4th inning, by the way, and that'll bring up Luis Barrios, who walked. Only walk of the day for Alex Perkins. Runner at second. Pitch. Barrios, the shortstop, watches the fastball going away. Count is at 1-0. Score even up at 1-1. Sun beaming down from the right side. Pitch. Swung on, hit on the ground over to Espinal. Pops to first. And that is it for the top of the 4th. So after the early error, Bailey Castro, Rams able to come back, silence side. No runs, no hits, and one error. Runner on base, going to the bottom of the 4th. Tied up 1-1 in the 7th inning contest at Bowen Field. Jordan Jackson leads off the bottom of the 4th as he takes that first pitch inside for ball 1. All tied up at 1-1 here on the Rams Digital Sports Network. I'm Bailey Engel, and we're glad to have you with us for the doubleheader. First or second pitch to Jackson, and the 1-0 flies outside from Trevor Maley. Good day for Trevor Maley so far as Jackson sacrificed on his first attempt and a bunt. Has a few strikeouts today. that 5 for him. As that next pitch flies on the outside corner, strike one. Count is at 2-1. Jackson, the 6th hitter. Ackerman to follow him, and then Jesus rolled on in the hole. Shane enveloping the field. 2-1. Swing and a miss. Big cut from Jackson, the right-handed batter, and evens the count at 2-2. Seen some great pitching today from both teams. Alex Perkins already on his way with so many strikeouts. Jackson Keene finished off St. Andrews in a shutout. Now the 2-2 to Jackson. Fastball high, and it's ball 3. Game 1 for St. Andrews, even in the loss. Zach Mathis had one heck of a game. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Payoff to Jackson. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Strikeout number 6 for the right-handed pitcher, and 1 out in the bottom of the 4th. Just playing a 7-inning game. Back on the left side, here's Jordan Ackerman. Ackerman grounded out to second his last time. First pitch, and the lefty has a check swing on a pitch that slides in the dirt. Peel not there, and it's ball 1. Ackerman had a long at-bat his last time up. Trying to find his first hit today. The 1-0. Fastball right down Broadway at strike 1. One. Outside. 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Now the sun just sneaking behind a cloud for just a second. Count at 2-1. Line drive straight up the middle, base hit for Ackerman. Fielded there by Dickens, and now Ackerman is on with his first base hit of the afternoon. All tied up at 1-1. Rams trying to find a way to edge out their AAC opponent, St. Andrews. Both of these teams with an identical conference record of 3-7. And coming into this one, 15-14 are St. Andrews, while the Rams improved to 12-8 in that last game. First pitch to Jesus rolled on, slides outside, and it's ball 1. This is the first time that Maley will have to deal with Ackerman on base today. And if I had to guess, a pickoff attempt will be coming up soon. There it is, just a bit low, and Ackerman dives back in towards the bag. Maley tried to pick off Perez about 4 times and couldn't come up with anything. Got to keep that runner at bay because Ackerman could go. Maley, long look, runner goes low, throw to second, skips in, not in time as Ackerman slides in with a stolen bag. Count is 2-0. Jesus rolled on the DH, getting a rare attempt to bat. Seen Oscar Torres as the main DH for Bluefield, and now he's getting the start at first base for the Rams. Rolled on, ready, the 2-0. Watts on the outside corner, strike 1. Jesus rolled on, mainly a relief pitcher for the Rams. Haven't gotten to see him pitch that much because the Rams don't really bring in a relief pitcher if they have some of their starters working so well, like Alex Perkins or Jackson Keene. 2-1. Another fastball right down Broadway at strike 2. Count evens, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Mike White just cheering on from the third base side. Swing the bat. Just 1 out, tied up 1-1. Big lead over at second for Ackerman, who reached on a single. 5th hit of the game for Bluefield. 2-2. Rolled on, bats it foul. Just stomping that ball in the grass right near the dugout. Count stays, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Bailey Engel here. We're happy to have you on the Rams Digital Sports Network at Bowen Field. One of the better facilities and more historic facilities in the 2 Virginias, and all of Appalachia. Long look at second, another 2-2. Ackerman stays at second after the check swing for Roldan doesn't hold up. It goes outside, and it's ball 3, full count. Three balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Payoff. Rolled on, watches it skip in the dirt, and that last pitch must not have counted. So now it's 3-2. So it was a dead ball on the timeout. These umpires not exactly very loud. Coming set, Rams dugout. Payoff. Inside, ball 4, and Rolled on reaches on a walk. I was about to say that Rams dugout is starting to get pretty charged up. All tied up at 1-1. Possible go-ahead run at second base in Jordan Ackerman, who constantly bounces right near that bag. And now the catcher, Seth Spillman, as well as the pitching coach in this one, Cliff Allred, trying to chat this one up with Trevor Maley, his first jam of the day. Only the second time where Bluefield has gotten 2 runners on base, but it's the first time they've been able to do so with 1 out. All tied up at 1-1. Game started out with a home run from Chris Stubbs that put the Knights on the board 1-0 in the top of the second. Espinal able to equalize in the bottom of the third after reaching on a single. 2-base error sent him to third from Ryan Dickens, and then a pass ball dealt by Maley allowed Espinal just slide right in. Speaking of Marcus Espinal, here he is. 1 for 1 with a single and a run scored. 2 runners on. Rolled on at first, Ackerman at second. Pitch. Espinal watches it go outside. Ball 1. Count at 1-0. We're in a 7-inning game, just playing in the bottom of the 4th. All that Rams dugout on their feet. Pitch. Swing and a foul tip popping out of the glove of Spillman. He didn't go all the way through, but just got a piece of it. Count evens at 1-1 with the sun really bearing down from the first base side. Rams trying to sweep this doubleheader. Maley looking over at third. Infield walking in for St. Andrews. Andy Fox is still talking this one over with the umpire here. We're trying to see what exactly they're arguing about. Maley just tossing the ball around with Seth Spillman. Even count at 1-1, tied up at 1-1 with 1 out in the bottom of the 4th inning. Started off with a swing and strikeout of Jordan Jackson. That was the 5th one of the game for the pitcher. Make it the 6th, actually. And then single from Ackerman, served right up the middle, rolled on, reached on a walk, and a quality plate appearance. Now Marcus Espinal in an even count. Play will resume. 1-1. Swung on, lifted down the right field line, and hooking foul. As it bounces on top of the batter's facility. And the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Everybody starting to walk off the bags. Ackerman at second. Pitch. Check swing, throw to first. Glove by Stubbs. No tag there. And he did not go on that check swing. So the count evens again at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Risky move by Spillman trying to tag out Jesus Roldan at first. That throw certainly would have sent Ackerman in. 2-2. Lifted down the right field line again, and once again it will curve right on top of the batter's hallway. 2-2 the count. Espinal just trying to get it down the right field line. Would mean extra bases because the right fielder, Bryce Dixon, is shaded a little towards right center. Pick off to second. It's low, but caught. Ackerman dives back in safely. Each one of those pickoff moves gets a little bit closer every time. Rams looking for the go-ahead. The bottom of the 4th, 2-2. Espinal swinging a line drive, right center field. There's a base hit. Ackerman trots around third. He will score. Roldan held up at third base, and Bluefield able to take the lead there, courtesy an RBI single from Marcus Espinal. Multi-hit day for Marcus Espinal as he drives in Ackerman, and it's now 2-1 Rams. Good at bat for the third baseman, and Bluefield finds a way to sneak ahead here with the wind blowing and just one out. Roldan over to third. So he didn't get it down the line exactly like he wanted, but he'll take it. Back to the top of the lineup with Bailey Castro. 2-1. Big lead for Roldan at third. Looking for the squeeze. A bunt laid down right back up the middle. Fielded at third. Throw to first. Skips and dropped. Covering the bag, Stubbs, and on the scoop attempt, that's going to be an error. Bases loaded. Espinal over to second. Roldan couldn't score. And Mike White is not excited about that. Jesus Roldan tried to get him to jump in. Are you calling that an error? So a sacrifice for Castro, but reaching on an error. So he will not fall to 0 for 3 after that. Bases loaded, one out. Chance for Bluefield to knock this one open. It's 2-1. Pitch. Perez watches the pitch scrape in the dirt for ball one. He's 2 for 2 today, or at least in game 2. A couple of singles for him. He has not scored. 2-1. One out. Bottom 4. Maley pitches. Another fastball outside, just a tad bit low. Spillman serves it right back to his pitcher. 2-0 the count. St. Andrews with the corner infielders in. 2-0. Fastball outside corner. Clocks in for the inaugural strike of the at-bat. Can the Rams sweep the doubleheader today? They have the lead after dropping out to 1-0. 2-1. And on the ground, over towards second and through into right field. Roldan will score as the ball rolls behind Dixon. It's going all the way to the wall. Perez rounding third. He's going to try for the Little League home run. Throw to the plate. Not in time. A single and a 3-base error, but Bluefield is excited as Jose Perez drills in a Little League grand slam. Wow. Everybody comes in to score, and now it's 6-1. Huge error for Dixon, and that's the second time today that an outfielder has let the ball roll through. That's the biggest lead for the Rams today as they won that first game 3-1, and now they're up 6-1 here. Josh McGee to the plate now. Pitch. He watches it go outside. You got a feel for Maley. Another error in this inning. Pitch. Swung on, popped up down the right field line and foul. So already 2 errors in a row. Castro reached on an error by the first baseman Stubbs. On an attempted sacrifice, that loaded up the bases. Then Jose Perez with that batted ball on the ground rolled right through Bryce Dixon. Meanwhile, a swing and a miss for McGee, and he gloved it. So that is a strikeout. Another strikeout for Maley, and there's the second out of the inning. Austin Browning steps up to the plate. He's the 8th batter in the lineup so far in the 4th. 6-1. Bluefield has scored 5 runs here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Pitch to Browning. Outside corner, strike 1. Browning looking for his first base hit. The overhead, 0-1. Browning watches the fastball scrape in the dirt and bounce to the backstop. Count at 1-1, evens to the catcher in this game. Got the start at first base in game 1 of the doubleheader. 6-1 Rams lead. Here's the pitch. Another fastball that just flies low. Browning up in the count, 2-1. And that could be huge, considering we're only playing in a 7-inning game. The Knights not enough time. 2-1. Slice foul hard, bouncing off the Coppinger room right on top of the dugout. Evens the count, 2 balls, 2 strikes. So you're just now joining us. Perez reached on an error with the bases loaded, or reached first on a single and then drove in all the runs after the Little League grand slam, after the error by Dixon. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, nobody on. 6-1 Rams lead. Here's the pitch. Way outside, and that almost hit the backstop without scrape or hitting the dirt. Oscar Torres on deck. Three balls, 2 strikes, a full count to Browning. Nobody on. Trying to keep this inning going. Payoff. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Another strikeout for Maley, but the damage done. Bluefield putting all the runs on the board, 5 of them to be exact in the bottom of the 4th, jumping out to his 6-1 lead. Bluefield plasters 5 unearned runs on Trevor Maley in the bottom of the 4th. As we head to the 5th, Alex Perkins certainly has a lot more run support. 6-1 Rams lead. Noah Lawson due up, the first batter of the inning, and the 9-1-2 coming up for this team from Laurinburg, North Carolina. First pitch. And Lawson takes that first pitch strike, showed bunt and pulled back. Lawson's 0 for 1. He flew out to right field. Just now joining us, Little League grand slam hit by Jose Perez in the last inning. The 0-1 is hit on the ground straight to short. Glove by Castro. Pops to first. Little low, but scooped out of the dirt by Torres. Rams certainly feeling it here. Torres with a confident play. Perez grounded that ball over into right field, and it rolled through Bryce Dixon, who's making his first start in the series out in right field. And it rolled through him, went all the way to the wall, and if you're going to make an error on anybody, you better not make it on Jose Perez. He was just all speed going straight home. First pitch to Dickens. He swings and pops it up out to center field. Ackerman charges in, and it bounces in front of him. There's a base hit for Ryan Dickens. So Dickens with a flare. Ackerman was playing too far back because Dickens does have 6 home runs on the year. And just with that blooper, he gets a base hit. Second hit of the game for Ryan Dickens. In the 5th inning, playing a 7-inning contest. Now Alex Perkins on the mound. Still trying to silence this team. First pitch over to Noah Whalen. Fastball inside. Whalen on the day, 0 for 2. From the belt, looking at the runner. Runner goes. Check swing, sliced into the dugout. Now the count is at 1-1, or 0-2, rather. Right back into the batter's box. Perkins looking at the runner at first. Dickens there. Pitch, fouled back. Out, no balls, 2 strikes. Thomas Huddleston calling in the pitches to Austin Browning to serve up to the freshman pitcher from Christiansburg, Virginia. Rams have looked good at Bowen Field. 0-2. Swing and a miss. He got him. Another strikeout for Alex Perkins, and he is rolling through this Knights lineup. 8 strikeouts for Alex Perkins, and we're just in the top of the 5th. Runner at first for Ryan Dickens. There have been 5 hits for the Knights in this one, including the home run from Chris Stubbs, the lone run for St. Andrews today. Calls on Nolan Pierce to come to the plate now. First pitch, and Pierce grounds it up the middle for a base hit. That snuck through Castro and Perez. Relay in will keep Dickens at second. Now 2 runners are aboard. Nobody warming up in the bullpen. Mike White certainly confident with his pitcher. Malik Johnson steps up to the plate on the right side. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. No balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Two outs, 2 runners on. Pitch. Johnson, a line drive through the hole into left field, a base hit, and now they are loaded up as McGee just sends it over to Espinal. Ryan Dickens moves to third. Now at second, Nolan Pierce. And Malik Johnson with his first base hit of Game 2, able to load the bases. It's still 6-1, but this is certainly the biggest test for Alex Perkins. 2 outs, bottom 5. Two outs. Bases loaded for Bryce Dixon. Bases loaded. The pitch to Dixon. In the dirt. Gets a little bit behind Browning, and he finds it. This could certainly be a huge step up for Bryce Dixon. He's 0 for 2 today. Reached on an error by Bailey Castro. But his error is what costs all of those runs back in the bottom of the 4th inning. 1-0. Dixon watches it go straight down the middle. Strike 1. Trying to redeem himself. Bases loaded. Could bring St. Andrews back within 1 with just the swing of the bat. Count evens at 1-1 with 2 outs. Bases juiced. Dickens at third. Pierce at second. Next pitch dropped by Browning. It's inside for ball 2. Keeps in front as it rolls down the third baseline. Nobody goes. Just in a 7-inning contest. We're in the top of the 5th. Big lead at third for Dickens. 2-1. Outside, just a little bit, missing the zone. 3-1 the count. So just a ball away from a run walking in. Perkins starts the motion. 3-1 pitch. Swing and a miss on the high fastball. Full count, strike 2. Bases loaded. Huge at-bat here for Bryce Dixon. Perkins readies. Takes a deep breath. Payoff pitch. Swung on the ground, over at short. Espinal lets it go through him. Ball rolls through the infield and runs score. 2 of them to be exact, and now it's 6-3. That's the same thing that happened in the last game. Espinal just plays too far in front of Bailey Castro, and the communication isn't there, and the ball rolled right through him. There's an error for Bluefield. Dickens scores. Whalen also comes, or rather, that's Nolan Pierce that also scores. Malik Johnson over to third. Bryce Dixon at first base after reaching on the error. 6-3 the score as that pitch is stroked out into right field. Going back, Jackson. He falls to his knees as he makes the catch. Made that a little bit more difficult than it needed to be, but still 2 runners on, left on base. So still 2-run score on 3 hits and 1 error. It's 6-3. Rams up by 3 runs as we go to the bottom of the 5th. Oscar Torres will lead off the bottom of the 5th. 6-3 the score, and a new pitcher on the mound. It's Zach Saylor. That pitch goes outside and hits the corner for strike 1. Saylor, the senior from Jamestown, North Carolina, went to Southwest Guilford High School. Now the 0-1 to Torres. He swings and strokes it out to center field. Dickens has a beat on it, throws up the black glove and squeezes to make the catch for out number 1. So on the day for Trevor Maley, that's it for him. 4 innings pitched, 7 hits, 6 runs, and only 1 was earned. 1 walk and 8 strikeouts for the righty. So he's in line for the loss unless the Knights can come back here on Alex Perkins. First pitch to Jordan Jackson. Fastball that hits the outside corner on the right fielder. It's strike 1. So for Saylor, he's 4-2. Another pitch that hits the corner again, working the corner. Quickly up 0-2. Saylor at 3.35 ERA, 40 1/3 innings pitched. This is his 11th appearance. The 0-2. Hit on the ground over towards second. Gets through the legs of Lawson, and he doesn't have a throw as it hit him right in the back calf and rolled towards the middle. Jackson reaches on an E4. Saw a clean game in Game 1 where Bluefield won 3-0 in less than 2 hours, really, in a 9-inning game. And now we're seeing the errors pile up as you play more baseball and more of the pitches are starting to get batted out. Just starts to happen. 6-3 the score. Here's Jordan Ackerman. Pitch. Fastball hits the knees of Ackerman. Strike 1. The zone is working kind of low now. The 0-1. Count over to Ackerman. Singleton scored a run last time. Runner goes. Pitch outside. Throw to second. Tag. In time. What a play by Spillman, gunning down Jordan Jackson. Base is cleared now. It's 6-3 with 2 outs. The count is even at 1-1. So for Ackerman, that changes a few things. Pitch. Low. There's ball 2, another fastball. So Saylor kind of similar in frame to the starting pitcher today we saw in Maley. Is that 6-1 as that pitch is lined to left field over the head of Whalen and rolling towards the wall. Ackerman on his horse to second, round second hard, he'll stay there. 2-out double for the center fielder. Went opposite field there. Ackerman doesn't have a lot of lift when he actually connects on the ball, but when he does, it's so powerful, and it rolls straight to the wall here, about 340 feet from home plate. 6-3 Rams, up by 3 runs, and Jesus rolled on. He scored back on that grand slam, Little League style, from Jose Perez in the bottom of the 4th. It's a big, huge swing in this game. The pitch, and the DH watches it go outside. Rolled on 0 for 1 with a strikeout. One of the 8 strikeouts by Trevor Maley. Wind ripping through the infield again. Big lead for Ackerman, 1-0. Outside corner, strike 1. Maley had an orthodox way of pitching, almost going old school with keeping the ball in his glove above his hat and then slinging it in. Not the same for Saylor. The pitch is whipped in just a bit outside. Evens the count, or rather puts Roldan up at the count 2-1. Doesn't put the glove or the ball over his head, keeps it at the chest, and then just fires through on a quick windup. 2-1. Bounces in the dirt, gloved by Spillman, up in the count 3-1. And St. Andrews hoping for help here. 7-inning game, 3-1. Fastball high and outside, ball 4. And Roldan has walked for the second straight time. Back to the 9-hitter, it's Marcus Espinal. He's 2 for 2 with a pair of singles. A pair of runs scored as well as an RBI. Jose Perez sneakily is 3 for 3, so a couple of Rams with multi-hit games. Ackerman had a double and a single, pitched to Espinal. Big cut and a miss on a high fastball. So Espinal, Perez, as well as Jordan Ackerman, all with multi-hit games. The 0-1. Espinal watches it crack the outside corner. Strike 2. Quickly down 0-2. 2 outs, 6-3 the score. Rams up by 3. In the 5th inning, just time running out. Rams looking for a chance to put up some final insurance runs moving into the 6th inning. The 0-2. The one that just misses the spot. So Zach Saylor from Jamestown, North Carolina. Guilford not too far from Greensboro. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 2 outs, 2 runners on. The deal. Fouled straight back. Espinal with a cut on a high fastball and couldn't get the barrel on it. Six-3 scores. Sun starting to set near the first baseline. Rams lead by 3 with a chance to break it open even more. 1-2. Swinging a foul tip, almost gloved by Spillman, and it rolls back to the backstop. Ackerman at second. Anxious to run over to third, and Jesus rolled on, earning his second walk of the game at first. 1 ball, 2 strikes. From the belt. Pitch. Rolled on, watches the fastball, just zoom inside on him. Evens the count, 2 balls, 2 strikes. First inning for Saylor. Two-two. Check swing, high pitch, throw to third. Not in time, but did he go? Yes, he said he went down there. He went out on the strikeout anyway. So Espinal retired on the strikeout. Saylor leaves 2 aboard for Bluefield. Headed to the 6th inning. Rams lead by 3 at 6-3. Rams still holding on to that 3-run lead. It's 6-3. Chris Stubbs to lead it off in the top of the 6th inning. Perkins on the mound. He fires a fastball that scrapes in the dirt for ball 1. Rams jumped out to this big lead, 6-1, in the bottom of the 4th after Jose Perez reached on a single. The ball rolled through the right fielder, Bryce Dixon, all the way to the wall. That was done with the bases loaded, so Bluefield jumped out to a 5-run lead. As the 1-0 is hit deep into left field, kiss it goodbye. Chris Stubbs with his 2nd home run of the game, and now it's 6-4. Alex Perkins knew that as soon as he sent it off of his fingertips, and Chris Stubbs, huge homer there. That's a high fastball he sent on a ride. And if you're St. Andrews, you got to think that those errors have absolutely hindered you in this one. Because Jose Perez, obviously he'll take the lead on that ground ball he hits into right field, but the next couple of runs don't score. So now it's 6-4, SAU within 2 now. Luis Barrios, first pitch, and it hit him. And Mike White arguing, Austin Browning says it didn't hit him, and Barrios was trying to sell it. Here comes Andy Fox. He's trying to talk this one over. Barrios comes back to the plate. Thomas Huddleston will have to talk this one over with his freshman pitcher. 6-4 the score after the home run. Ball and no strikes. Barrios will have to go back to the batter's box anyway. Did not hit him. It's a ball inside. 1-0 the count. 6-4. Rams lead by 2. And Chris Stubbs with a multiple home run game. The 1-0. Barrios watches it go in. 2 balls, no strikes. Got to remember that Stubbs, that was his first home run of the season in the 2nd, and now he's hit 2. 2-0. Right down the middle, strike 1. And you can kind of expect a freshman pitcher to get rattled here, and we saw this out of Alex Perkins in the last series. It didn't happen. 2-1. Barrios takes another one inside. 3 balls and 1 strike. No outs, nobody on. 6-4 the score. Pitch. Hit on the ground, over to Espinal. Good glove there, lobs to first. Dropped. Tag. Got him. Wow, that was almost a dastardly play. Espinal lobbed to first. Torres had to jump, swatted it back down on the ground, and then he laid a tag down on Barrios. So there's the first out in the top of the 6th inning. Only playing 7 here. Pitch. Hard hit ground ball by Lawson, the shortstop, who is 0 for 2. Hits it towards the dugout of St. Andrews. Coming into this game wearing the gray jerseys and the numbers that look like the Toronto Blue Jays. 0-1. Lawson, a big cut and a miss. Strike 2. Rams looking for a way to sweep this doubleheader and already clinch the series with St. Andrews. Perkins kicks and fires. Swung on, lifted out to left field. McGee racing back. That will hit the warning track and bounce to the wall. Lawson sprinting to second. He'll get there on a stand-up double. Life being charged into the dugout, and Mike White will take out his freshman pitcher. A pitching change in the works. Alex Perkins, his day is done after 5 1/3 innings here at Bowen Field. The freshman taken out and a new pitcher coming in. We'll let you know who it is right after this. Pitching change here in Bluefield, going with Tyler Conklin on the mound now. Trying for a relief spot here. Runner at second, 6-4 the score, and starting out with the top of the lineup on his day. So a good one for Alex Perkins, getting a little too close for comfort as St. Andrews finds life in the top of the 6th inning. Conklin, a towering frame, fires in, scrapes in the dirt, glove by Browning, who gives it right back. Conklin on the year, a 1.74 ERA. Has no wins, no losses, no saves. 10 1/3 innings pitched, 5 hits, 2 runs, both of them earned, 3 walks, 11 strikeouts. Dealing with a runner at second base. The 1-0. Watched outside. Dickens up in the count, 2-0. Dickens 2 for 3 on the day. A double, struck out, and singled as well as scored in the 5th inning. Represents the potential tying run. Just 1 out and no double play intact. 2-0. Outside, gets through Browning. Going to third is Lawson. 3-0. Not a great start for Tyler Conklin. So on the wild pitch, Lawson moves to third. Inning started out with a Stubbs homer, his second of the game. St. Andrews, this would be a real huge win if they're able to fight back and get this one at Bowen Field. Just a 7-inning game, so the Rams will have one more chance to bat if they still have the lead here.
Come on, 3, let's hit a ball here.
And so will the Knights. 3-0 to Conklin. from Conklin, rather. Fastball outside and low. Dickens moves to first. So now runners on the corners. Chance for the double play. Bluefield sure could use that here. 6-4 the score. Potential tying run at first base. Now stepping to the plate, Noah Whalen. Coming set, Conklin. Checks on the runners. Pitch. Whalen watches the fastball go right through his knees. Strike one. Good pitch from Tyler Conklin. Big man for Bluefield. Another freshman from Greenville, North Carolina, the 0-1. Fastball right across the St. Andrews letters, 0-2. Whalen almost has a stutter step when he's trying to swing through it. That lead foot this slides through the dirt. Now he's down on the count, 0-2. Conklin shrugs, checks the runner. Pitch. Outside, Browning does a great job to keep that in front. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Conklin at 6'6", 235. He's the biggest pitcher we've seen today. On the mound wearing number 47. Blue sleeves keeping him warm on this cold Friday afternoon. Pitch. Runner goes from second to first. Over there, goes through and stays in the dirt. And Torres had nowhere to go. That was hard to keep up with. Bluefield was trying to go for the double play. Lawson scores at 6-5. Dickens over to second, and Whalen safe at first. 6-5 the score. SAU so close to being able to tie this up. Here comes Nolan Pierce. Conklin deals in. Pierce watches the fastball drop low. It's ball 1. 6-5 the score. It was batted on the ground. Kept in the dirt by Torres. Just tried to scoop it up, and it stayed in the grass. He was going to whip it over to second and then just couldn't do it. 1 ball, no strikes, 1 out. Pitch. Hit on the ground. Snagged, or goes into left field, rather. Runners coming in. Dickens trotting around third. He will score, and the game is tied. Nolan Pierce with a clutch RBI there. Moving over to second is Whalen. Six to 6. The Rams have let this get away. Conklin's relief attempt is starting to slip through his fingertips here. Nobody else warming up in the bullpen. 6-6 the score. Rams led by as much as 5. It was 6-1. Pitch. Blake Johnson watches it go through the knee. Strike 1. Count 0-1 with 1 out. Now the pitch. Line drive down the left field line. That is a fair ball, base hit. Here comes Whalen. He will score. Held up at third is Pierce, and St. Andrews has taken the 7-6 lead. RBI double from Malik Johnson. Pierce all the way at third now. And this has been a nightmarish inning for Bluefield. Tyler Conklin has failed to get an out. 7-6 the score. And if you're the Rams, that pitching just faltering after the home run from Stubbs. Runners at second and third, infield in. 1 out, stepping to the plate, Bryce Dixon. Rams led this one 6-1, now 6 unanswered. Pitch. Swung on, it popped up, right side. Browning behind the plate, finds it and catches it for out number 2. So a gift given to Bluefield. Dixon goes down to 0 for 4. Now Seth Spillman comes to the plate. He's 0 for 2, was out on a sacrifice back in the 4th. Now he has 2 runners in scoring position. 7-6, St. Andrews leads. Playing in just a 7-inning game, and we're in the top of the 6th. Pitch. Swung on, hit out to left field. McGee finds it and makes the catch for out number 3, but the damage done. They send 9 batters to the plate there, and Bluefield squanders the lead. It's 7-6 St. Andrews. Rams find themselves down 7-6 now. Saylor on the mound for his 2nd inning of work. Bluefield trails by 1. First pitch to Bailey Castro. Sends it on a line drive out to left center field. And now he leads off the bottom of the 6th with a base hit. That'll bring up Jose Perez. Perez, the second baseman, 3 for 3 in this one. Had that huge game-turning in Little League grand slam back in the 4th inning. It was a single that rolled through Bryce Dixon in right field with the bases loaded, and everybody scored. Now the Rams with a chance here. Runner at first. Pitch. Perez shows bunt, taps it down the first base line, and it rolls foul into the glove of Stuggs. Got 0-1. No outs. Mike White and his team definitely frustrated after that last inning. Saw 4-run score for St. Andrews. They have scored now 6 unanswered. Stepping to the plate on the left side, Jose Perez. Righty to lefty. Nodding. Runner goes. Pitch. Swing and a miss. Throw to second. Skips into the glove. Tag. Not in time as the throw was wide left. Meanwhile, it's strike 2. I don't know why Perez decided to swing at that. Now a runner in scoring position. Bailey Castro there. 7-6 the score. Rams down by 1. No balls, 2 strikes. No outs. Long look at second. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. Perez goes down. Huge strikeout orchestrated by Saylor. That's his 2nd strikeout of the game. Meanwhile, Castro, representing the potential tying run, stands by at second base. And Josh McGee, he struck out 3 times, looking to avoid that awful golden sombrero in game 2 of this doubleheader. 3 swinging strikeouts. Bailey got him twice. Actually, all 3 times. Now the pitch. McGee takes inside corner, strike 1. That was a changeup. Well, if there was ever a time Josh McGee could use a home run, it's right here. Rams led this game 6-1. moving into the top of the 5th inning, and now the Knights have turned the tide. From the belt, 0-1. Watch by McGee goes outside. Count is at 1-1. He steps up to the plate. He has 33 RBIs this year and 9 homers. Looking for number 10. 1-1. Popped up right side, foul territory. Spillman finding it. So is Stubbs, and he makes the catch for out number 2. Another missed opportunity there. McGee pops up, 2 outs. Castro at second. Reached on a single and then stole the second base. Austin Browning, 0 for 2. He struck out twice. Once looking, once swinging, and he's walked. Another guy with a ton of power for Bluefield, Austin Browning. Hit a grand slam last week against Milligan. Now all the ducks aren't on the pond, but just one is. Potential tying run. Pitch. Swung on, hit high in the air, out to left field, wailing back, and that is out of here. 2-run bomb for Austin Browning, and Bluefield takes the 8-7 lead. Clutch home run for Austin Browning, and that's the first home run of the doubleheader. Lets the air out of St. Andrews tires, and the catcher with possibly the fastest home run trot of the season for Bluefield. Already experimenting with that siren, and it works out. 3rd home run of the year for the catcher. High pitch to Oscar Torres. It's ball 1. What a clutch homer. And Saylor has to just exhale after that. The 1-0 popped up behind home plate, out of play. Count evens at 1-1. Oscar Torres is 1 for 3. Had a single back in the second and was left at third base. 1-1. Check swing and a high pitch. He went around. Strike 2. 10th hit of the day, or 10th hit of game 2 for Bluefield. Stepping back, Saylor kicks and delivers. Fastball outside corner, strike 3, and that is it for the 6th inning. Austin Browning, though, his 3rd home run of the year, brings in 2, and the Rams take the 8-7 lead, looking for a way to shut it down in the 7th. In a 7-inning game, so Bluefield just 3 outs away from sweeping the doubleheader and clinching the series here at Bowen Field. On the mound, Tyler Conklin going up against Chris Stubbs, who already has 2 homers today. Conklin didn't have a great go of it in his 2/3 innings of work, now trying to get the win. Fastball is high for Stubbs, and it's ball 1. The only other time Stubbs did not reach base was a strikeout looking back of the 3rd. Count is 1-0. The pitch. Fastball right down the middle. It's strike 1. Count evens at 1-1. 8-7 the score. Rams lead by 1. They led 6-1, then trailed 7-6. 1-1. Outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. So we'll see Stubbs, Barrios, as well as Noah Lawson, at least in this inning. 2-1 the count. Conklin, the 6-6 frame. Kick in the 2-1. Fastball clocking in on the outside corner. It's strike 2. No outs Stubbs got that huge rally going for the Knights back in the top of the 6th. Pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him. Big time strikeout for Tyler Conklin, and the freshman is just 2 outs away. Kind of chasing on a high fastball, and that was exactly what Stubbs sent on a ride from Alex Perkins back in the top of the 6th. Now gets him chasing. Here's the shortstop, Barrios. He's 0 for 2. The pitch. Barrios pops it up out into left field. McGee trots back about 5 feet in front of the warning track and gloves it for out number 2. And the Rams are just 1 out away from sweeping the doubleheader. Just a little bit more wind would have sent that ball a little bit further to the wall. And ironically, after blowing all day, the wind has stopped in the 7th. Noah Lawson with a double back in the 6th inning. He's 2 for 3. He scored a run as well. 8-7 the score. Conklin fires in. And Lawson watches it go inside, ball 1. St. Andrews has lost 6 games in a row. Could be 7 in here. 1-0. Popped up right side of the infield. Foul territory. Torres calls for it and makes the catch. Bluefield sweeps the doubleheader, and the Rams are looking good now with a record of 13-8. SAU at 15-15, and Bluefield now has 4 conference win on the year at 4-7. SAU now at 3-8. What a topsy-turvy game 2 of the doubleheader. But the highlight in this one is going to be the home run from Austin Browning, the 2-run bomb that puts Bluefield up in the bottom of the 6th. Possibly be back here tomorrow. We're going to have a lot of snow in the forecast, but as of right now, we're going to close this series out at Bowen Field at 1 o'clock here. You're going to catch that on the Rams Digital Sports Network, but I have a feeling we might not with all that snow coming through. But still, my name is Bailey Engel, reminding you the final score of Game 2. Rams win it in 7 innings, 8-7. And until next time, take it easy, Rams fans.